What's good, family? It's your boy Jermaine leMor here, coming with another impromptu session of the intersection when passion meets purpose. This episode is probably going to be one of the most how can I say relative episodes that actually have to do with passion meeting purpose, because I myself have been going through a time. Been going through a time, as we all have, because we've been in a pandemic and it has not been very easy for a lot of us. And so it's been very difficult, but there are other things compiled on top of living and working and trying to survive in a pandemic. And so just want to talk about those things. But before we get into it, please go down below this video and click those subscription buttons. And then if you're feeling froggy, go ahead and click that bell to be notified when I go live and when I drop another episode, because I'm really wanting to dive into the passion part of everything, which is basically, when I say the passion, I mean the hard work and the suffering and things, and how all of that is being turned into some purpose of some sort in our lives, which is very hard to see, which is why I started this podcast to begin with. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I go live, and check out the merch. The link to the merchandise, the creative merchandise, is below, right there. I think it is right there. So do it. Alright? So let's talk about it. So I've been going through right now, like lately, man, I mean, I think it really started to surface at the beginning of the pandemic, or before the pandemic actually really took over. I think it was like more like in March and things, and just a lot of things have been going on, and then going into the pandemic and still trying to keep my head above water already before the pandemic even hit, to now have to deal with the pandemic. And it's just been really ridiculously difficult and crazy for all of us. But right now, I just have to be transparent and honest with you guys. Right now, I feel extremely lost. I feel like I have no sense of direction right now. I feel like I've lost sight of my purpose and the meaning of life and why I'm here. And there's a couple of things that contribute to this. I do music, and at one point I was doing music, a part of a record label here in Virginia. And once that came to an end, it was like, I think I might have said this before, but that hit me harder than I really thought initially. And so after coming out of that situation and still trying to pursue the music and things like that, other things started going on and happening in my life to where I had to make the difficult decision of, do I continue to pursue the music, or do I put the music on hold to really focus on getting the life stuff together. Because of course, when I do music, like I dive in, and it's the marketing and the recording and the production and the building relationships, and then it's the reaching out to different people, and like, it's just a lot that goes into the music. And I was like, well, maybe I just need to take a break from the music. And so in doing that, it was very difficult for me, because after a while I started to feel like I lost a good thing. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is, music has always been there. As long as I can remember, it's always been there, and it's always kind of been like a fallback for me. It's always been a way of venting and of being of a therapeutic nature in my life. And because it has always been a good thing for me, it was like it was one of the things that I had in life that I felt added value and added meaning to my life. And it gave me something to do, something to pursue. And as a creative like myself, which is why I even started the creative brand, with a creative like myself, when you're not creating, a lot of times you feel like a part of you is dying. When you don't really have something to pursue creatively and be creative in, you feel like you're out of place, like you're just not in your element. Now, I know every creative does not feel this way, but I know there are some of us like that feel that way and that have felt that way, and I am definitely one of them. And so not having the music to really fall back on has been very, 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 very difficult for me. Okay, and so that, looking back to it, it's like, well, dang, man, like that was something that I just knew that God was going to use, and like, and not saying that He can't use it, because I believe He still can. I believe He still has a purpose for it. I had to kind of get my priorities in order and say, okay, well, I need to put that to the side because other things are taking precedence in life right now, and I totally understand that. And so I was needing to do that, but that was not an easy decision to make. And so now here I am, months later, coming to the end of 2020, about to go into 2021, and there's just a lot of the things that I've been going through and dealing with has affected me in a way that it's not very fitting for me. I honestly feel like a lot of it has changed me, and I don't like who it has turned me into. And it's very, very difficult to deal with and to really cope with. And so yes, I've been doing the therapy and stuff, and having people in place that's really in my corner and holding me accountable, and just being that extra ear, that shoulder, that you know what I'm saying, and that extra support. But a lot of people have also kind of just drifted, backed away. I don't know why, but it's one thing to tell me that, yeah, I'm gonna pray for you, bro. I'm gonna be praying for you, man. And you know what I'm saying? That's cool, and I appreciate the prayer. I need all of it. But when it comes to having people that were actually willing to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty with me in this difficult time that I've been in for some time now, that has been a very limited number. And there are a couple in particular that I can think of right now. One in particular, like I know he probably doesn't want me to put his name out there, so I'm not. But he's a single guy, never been married before, but he wanted to walk with me in it. So we were having weekly meetings. He is a pastor or whatever. So we were having weekly meetings. We would get together, we would walk, and we would just talk, and then he would give me homework to do, and he would just kind of really dive into the deep things that I was going through, that I was dealing with. And he was an ear, but he was also some wisdom and some encouragement for me as well. And he really rolled his sleeves up and really dove into it with me, and I really appreciate him. I want to say his name so bad, but I know he doesn't want me to, so I'm not going to. So in this time, it's like, in feeling lost, not feeling like, not having a sense of direction, what do I do? What do I do in this time? It's a very difficult question to ask. It's an even more difficult question to answer. But I think anybody that's feeling like me right now, I honestly think, all the Christian cliches aside, we just need to push forward. We need to push forward. And I know that sounds like such an easy thing to do. I know it makes it sound easier said than done. And believe me, I'm in it right now because my passion is also creating purpose in me. And what amazes me is God can take even these difficult times that we're in. I'll take my situation personally, even with the music, you know what I'm saying? And then everything else that was going on in life. Like, it's amazing how God is still even using those things to refine me, to create something other than what was. Because things that I was doing, they're just not producing in the way that I need them to for who I am becoming and who I am aspiring to be and desiring to be. Because who I'm desiring to be tomorrow was not the same person that I was yesterday or the day before that. And so I know in that there are some things that need to come out of me, that need to be produced in me as well, for me to become that person. And so all of this suffering and all this pain and difficulty and aimless drifting through life and not having a purpose and not having guidance and direction and not having something to pursue creatively, and all of this is producing something. And I just have to be able to trust the process, as difficult as it might be. As difficult as it might be, I have to be able to trust the process. And so I want to encourage you to do the same. Trust the process. When you call yourself a Christian and you say, I trust God and I believe God and everything like that, then that means that He has the final say so in what is going on in your life. And when you are giving those things to Him and not holding on to them, He's able to do and He's willing to do what is going to produce the most in you. He wants to create the straightest path for us to get to Him. So He's going to do whatever He needs to do to make sure that He gets us back to Him. And if whatever was in me before all this stuff started happening and He's wanting to remove it, if this was the way that He needed to do it, I'm believing that it's going to produce a different type of Jermaine that would not have been produced with the things that I was doing before. And so I'm trying to believe that, and I am firmly standing on that and believing that. It does not make it easy. It does not make it a happy-go-lucky life of, oh yeah, I'm just, skipping through life and it's just what it is. And it's none of that. It is a grueling process. It is a difficult process. But oh my gosh, I believe that it's going to be so worth it with whatever it produces after, on the other side of this. I believe that it's going to produce something that even I have to look back and say, wow, if I had to go through that to get here, it was worth it. So keep your head up, guys. Keep pushing forward. Trust the process. I'm trusting the process right now. And my passion and the pain and things that I'm dealing with is producing purpose in me, which is what this whole show is about. It's how the pain and suffering is producing purpose. And once those things meet, once the passion and the purpose meet at that intersection right there is where God is going to produce the most in us. Where passion intersects with purpose, that is where God's going to do the most work in our lives. And it's going to produce something that we could not have produced otherwise. Pain and suffering is needed. It's necessary to grow. It's necessary. You get growing pains. It's necessary for growth. And I want to grow. I want to be the best Jermaine that I can possibly be. For my kids, for anybody that I'm connected to, for any ministry that I'm going to be a part of, for anything that I aspire to, any business that I start, anything that I do. It will be a better endeavor and a more productive and effective endeavor when I am a healthy version of myself. And I want to encourage you to find that healthy version of yourself. Trust that God is working. And He's using the bad for your good and for His glory. I'm Jermaine leMor. I appreciate you guys listening to my little vent. And this is me encouraging myself as well. So don't think I'm just like, oh, well, I've made it. I've arrived already. And you need this. No, I need this. I'm talking to myself right now. And you guys are just witnessing this conversation between me, myself, and I. So please, I hope it encourages you. Once again, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm going to be doing more videos like this. It may not be impromptu videos in the car like I'm doing now, but I just had to do it in this way so that it's fresh. It's fresh and I'm expressing it in the moment because I'm feeling this right now as I'm recording this. All right, so love you guys. All right, let's keep trusting that passion and purpose are going to intersect and create the most productive and effective and healthy us that we need to be. All right? Continue to be creative.